All right, let's get started. Gateway, do you have any news?
Good afternoon. No general updates except we added Erigon v3 and created it as separated point for testing. By the way, it is in main pool of nodes, if that's okay.
So you're saying basically some public requests could go to either a V2 or a V3 node?
Correct.
Okay, but there is a specific endpoint just for Erigon V3 nodes, right?
And yeah, in a case when specifically pick this v3, I provided the URL in for everyone.
Okay, so yeah, I already asked, I think, on the group, and Andrew confirmed. Well, no, nothing. Sorry, that's not Gateway. I was talking Erigon now. All right, perfect. Thank you. Shutter.
Not many updates on our end as well. We're waiting for the next validator release to perform more tests. And we also asked about a license to add to a Gnosis Chain repo that has a Shutter encryption repository. If someone could add it there, because we would like to reuse it in a JavaScript Shutter SDK.
Yes, right. This is with legal currently, so we'll keep you posted when we have news for this.
Thank you.
Hive?
No updates.
All right. What about the Ethereum tests?
Hello, guys. Well, we generated half of the Vectra test cases, and we continue working on that. And this is the temporary repository where we are generating those test cases. We are also fixing some issues that we had on the Nethermind side. But yeah, basically, we are really having some progress there.
So currently, these tests are generated by Nethermind, but are they also executed or tested by Erigon, Geth, and Red?
No, we are just now in the Nethermind side. We have not tried with other clients. As long as we clean the issues of the generating of the test and so on, we will move to other clients as well.
Okay, so there's I guess this needs to advance a bit faster potentially, because the Ethereum mainnet, as far as I understand, is for around mid-March, right? So that would also give us a bit more than a month. So yeah, time to make sure that all the clients work. Is there anything we can do to help you speed this up a bit?
The idea is to get the Vectra test especially as soon as possible, but I think that we just need a little bit more of time to get that done, and maybe we will need some help at the time of running the rest of the clients. But let's try to first clean up the issues on the generation, and after that try to maybe use some help on spinning up in the rest of the clients.
Got it. Thank you. All right, let's move on to client updates then. Nethermind, do you have any news?
Yeah, hi there. Last week we were preparing for release, but because of the loosened timelines on the Ethereum side, we went with things a little bit more easy, and we are making sure that we are not having any extra issues and solving some minor ones. Today we'll release the release candidate. We just got one extra report about RPC, which we just solved and testing right now. Confirmed working. We'll release candidate today, with a full release expected at next week.
All right, Erigon?
Of ERA files, he should reach to you this week to start discussing how to implement ERA. I mean, export the old chain data somewhere, maybe potentially to some kind of S3 bucket or something like this, and work this out with you on how to do that for Gnosis.
And wait, sorry, who was responsible for the error files?
Jarosław.
Got it. Okay, I'm not sure how that's written.
Let me type it.
Thank you.
He's just
Perfect.
doing some final tests because he noticed one more issue. So making sure everything works fine. Once he will figure everything out, he will come up with some small kind of tutorial on what to do, where, how, etc. And will help you with setting this up.
Perfect. Sounds great. All right, Erigon.
So we've been busy with Vector DevNet 6. There was an issue of the DevNet 1 in Gnosis mirrored from DevNet 5 of Ethereum on a certain block. I've been able to pinpoint the issue. It seems to be there is a protocol difference or consensus difference between Nethermind and Erigon. I'm not sure why that is. It's not related to Petra. And the difference stays even on an older version of non-Petra Erigon. So it may be inherent to how the two clients work. I'll do some more debugging before involving potentially Nethermind team to try to figure out why that is. Maybe the transaction was random in a way. Marek.
Have you implemented block-based fee collector in Erigon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's possible that that is an issue, but as I look through it, it appears to be an issue with how Xcode hash is handled, where most of the complexities have been removed. Maybe there is some difference in DevNet 5. Not sure why we never bumped into it in the tests or in the mainnet DevNet. But anyways, I will debug it further. Our DevNet 6 release we haven't finalized the date for it yet, but things look good. So we'll be deciding this week or early next week. And also some discussions to happen with mainnet protocol call tomorrow. That's it from my side, unless Melaine has something to add.
But wait, so you're saying potentially this could be an issue that also exists on mainnet and Shadow that could cause a
Yeah,
fault?
yes, it could be. I need to understand what that transaction, that particular, it's a create transaction, and I want to understand the nature of that transaction. So yes, it's not related to Petra and could be a cause for concern even in the mainnet. But I wouldn't jump to any conclusion because I don't know what version of Nethermind was being used. But from Erigon's side, it seems like everything is good, but on a non-Petra kind of transaction, this error comes in. I will do further analysis.
Yeah, Marek?
Is it like Erigon rejected block that Nethermind accepted, or what's the issue exactly? Because I'm not sure if I...
In the initialization of the create transaction, there is an opcode or Xcode hash. It tries to access an address that wasn't there in the access list. Erigon charges the full cold account access cost, and I think Nethermind does not. Nethermind charges warm gas cost, but it could be a difference related to something else. Because when I ran through that transaction and I calculated the gas, I got a difference. And it seems like what Erigon is doing is right. but I will have to double check.
All right. Have you tried to compare traces?
I don't have access to it, so I'll have to run a full Nethermind node because the ones that Carlos provided does not have historical block access. So I was not able to access the trace for that particular block from Nethermind.
Okay.
It seems like it's going to be deprecated anyways. So before that's deprecated, I'll try to get another Nethermind instance up and running and try to debug it.
Okay, guys, let's not deprecate this test DevNet as long as we have a clear view what's going on there. Carlos, if you can.
We have restarted DevNet, so we probably lost the data.
Carlos, please give some access to archive node and let's compare traces together. Maybe it's not an issue, but it has to be checked.
I mean, we have lost the data for the DevNet. One of the updates is that we have restarted with DevNet 6 specs, so we have lost the nodes from before.
Oh, shit.
Do we have at least like the exact transaction that caused this, so we can at least try to replay it on DevNet 6?
I can provide the details.
Could you somehow try to reproduce it? I mean, send similar transaction, the same transaction on DevNet 6?
You mean mainnet? Yeah, I could try that.
Well, maybe not mainnet.
Mainnet. Come on.
I mean, like the DevNet 6 for Ethereum.
Yeah, we have the same endpoints available, so you can probably use those. We're going to move with the test for consolidation, so maybe not maybe we can wait after that, but yeah, otherwise we can use the same endpoints.
Probably you can, yeah, because you mentioned DevNet 6 for Ethereum. I think you can use our DevNet, but Gnosis DevNet, but DevNet 6 for Ethereum, you can send it as well there.
Yeah, I mean for DevNet. Yeah.
It may not be an issue. It could be that there is a difference in where Nethermind was with respect to DevNet 5, a commit ahead or back, and maybe Erigon was one commit plus or minus. That's the issue. It may be a non-issue, but yeah, certainly interesting. If I find something more, I'll try.
I mean, that sounds quite concerning. Are we sure that we don't have access to any node on DevNet 5? Like, I know Dimitri was, for example, running some himself. Do you maybe still have that data?
No.
So I guess I'd rather know. Yeah, go ahead, Marek.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Dimitri, we can't hear you. I didn't get what Dimitri said.
Regarding to DevNet testing, I managed to.
Hold on, but there was a question if you have DevNet 5 data, if you have a node and you still didn't remove it.
I have only validator keys that I use it and
no EL data.
And I have actually a database for execution and consensus.
Okay, save this to some S3 bucket or whatever.
Okay.
Someone will try to send the same transaction on DevNet 6, but it will be better to have this database somewhere. So let's back up it before you remove it.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, and how difficult will it be to respin up, like to use that data to spin up a new very small testnet with just one Erigon and one Nethermind nodes, so that we can actually re-execute this and compare traces
Yeah.
on DevNet 5.
It is possible. So yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, I think
mean-
we should definitely try to do that.
We can even run on one machine with this database. So first of all, let's backup it, and later share this backup. Someone please share, I don't know, transaction hash, etc. Yeah.
Right,
And-
I'll
Okay, yeah.
post it in the QA channel.
And Dimitro, you can later, after you backup it, this is important. After you backup it, you can run this against Nethermind node, even without CL, and get the transaction hash from Somnat. Somnat will, and you will be able to execute traces, etc. Yeah, and we can work in this way. Not sure if we have database in Erigon as well. Somnat, do you have some local DB or?
So I have blocks downloaded to 200,000 blocks or so, but as Erigon does not go past 43,000 something, so there is no point in having the database, but I have it till that point, yeah.
All right, I think we can discuss it async.
Yeah, let's please make sure this is not an issue, especially if there is a suspicion of it being broken on mainnet as well. So yeah, please go through spinning that up again, or I mean, if it's necessary at least, and comparing those traces on DevNet 5. Okay, let's move on to Geth updates.
Hey, yeah, so last week there was Ethereum Geth release, security release. I'm not gonna give too many details, but yeah, it's not really a problem for Gnosis Chain. I mean, it would be annoying if someone crafted a message that would potentially crash the Geth nodes, but it's not like it's a majority client, so it's there's nothing to worry about on this front. Like, it's not threatening to the network. I did the rebase. I was testing it. My machine was very slow, but I realized it just synced. So it's still generating the snapshot, but I'd say it's good enough. So now I need one more thing, because unfortunately it seems Gonzalo has left, and he's the one who created the build script that takes any commit, provided a tag, and generates the image. So yeah, that doesn't seem to work. So I will need someone from DevOps to help me with this, figure it out. But that's one thing. So if you build it yourself from the main branch in Gnosis Chain, it should work. Actually, sorry, I still have to press the merge button, but I will press that shortly. And yeah, if that happens, then I need to build a Docker image, because that's the only thing missing from this update. So that's for last week's release. That's unfortunately not the one we were hoping to push last week, because there's still the 1.15.0 that we are working on. So to be clear, the one we published last week is 1.14.13, and it's a hotfix. But yeah, so there's the new one, 1.15.0, which we are trying to put out of the door, and it contains almost every PR for Pectra. So yeah, I mean, today I'm mostly working on this, helping the rest of the team to put this release out, because yeah, we're not set to make it on time to have a testnet release so far, and we still need to do another release next week, which would be 1.15.1, which should be the one that's ready for Ethereum testnet's release. So yeah, this new branch that I'm trying to release today, sorry, this new Gnosis branch I'm trying to release today is not Pectra ready. It's the new one that will be quasi Pectra ready, 1.15.0, at least should be good enough to go on DevNets. And this one I will have to implement the Gnosis specific stuff, which I just needed a confirmation from Lion that the spec is up to date so that I can implement it. But it should be fairly quick. What's going to be hard is rebasing on top of 1.15.0. But yeah, I'm hoping to do that over the weekend. Right now, I'm focused on releasing 1.14.13 so that the hotfix is also present on the Gnosis chain.
Spec is up to date.
Spec is up to date. That's great. So yeah, the other action point I need from DevOps is someone to look at the release pipeline and see if images are being built. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, I will get someone on the CI/CD thing. So for Pectra currently on Gnosis Chain, nothing has been done yet, right? So the blob fee collector and all of that.
Yeah, nothing has been done, but it's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is rebasing on top of the release Geth should be making today, hopefully, knock on wood. Because yeah, the tweaks should be. I mean, I read the old version of the spec. It seems simple enough. The rebase is always the big question mark. But once this is done, yeah, I expect okay, I'm not gonna say a 5-minute job, but a very short time to put out the 1.15.0-GC for Gnosis Chain.
Yeah, so that should definitely be easy, the block fee collector, especially because the block fee collector or the P1559 fee collector was already implemented. And except for that, there's just a few constants modified, so should be all good.
I mean, the devil is always in the details, but
Definitely.
Like since from right now, it looks pretty easy to do.
All right. Russ?
Hi, so upgraded Reth onto their, actually it's not their release version, it's a mid-cycle commit, but currently we have access to the blob schedule, so I can manage, like I can set the Gnosis specific constants through that. We are able to, like Reth is able to process blobs like with the correct state roots. However, there's a bug when the max limit of blobs, that is 2 blobs in a block, are like getting processed, then there's a bug on the next block. So I'm just debugging that right now, but for single blobs, it's working. Also this, I mean, on the flip side, this upgrade caused some issues to the networking layer. So it is connecting to peers, it is fetching the tipped block hash, but as soon as it requests like headers and bodies, the peer rejects the connection. So I have to also see what's happening there.
So I'm not sure I followed everything. You have to configure a blob schedule. There's an issue in the block after one when you receive more than 2 blobs.
Not more. Like when we receive 2 blocks in a particular block, that block gets processed correctly. There's an issue on the next block.
Okay, so you get 2 blobs. You put those 2 blobs in a block, and in the next block it's fine.
Yes, exactly. So after this is resolved, we are like at least minus the networking side, will be good for Cancun. Yeah, so have to see the networking layer after this. On your third point, it's not just receipts, pretty much any data apart from the tip block.
All right. All right. So for Pectra, DevNet 5 then was decommissioned. There's still this transaction to debug. For DevNet 6, I would just start calling them DevNet 5 and 6 for Gnosis as well. If we have a second release or something, then we'll call them 6A, B, whatever. Makes it a bit less confusing than having DevNet 1 based on 5 and 2 based on 6. So DevNet 6, has this been spun up already?
Yes, we have set up in DevNet 6 like we're still missing to like adding the contracts to the explorers and such, and testing all the consolidations. But we have deployed the newer version of Dora Explorer, which allow us to test like consolidations or withdrawals with the new format. But yeah, the DevNet 6 is deployed.
Okay, so is this also including Erigon nodes then?
Yeah, Erigon nodes are back within the newer version, some of the shared.
Right. So because earlier I think Erigon in Subnet you said that the release was not done yet for Pectra for .NET 6, or was that something else?
For DevNet 6, this is the candidate branch at the moment because not all changes have been merged yet. And we were supposed to, all the clients are supposed to put up a release, and that hasn't been finalized yet.
Okay, so it should work, but it's not like the official release for the .NET. Okay. All right. So regarding the consolidation contracts, do we have the new transaction now?
Yeah, the contracts are deployed from Genesis since DevNet 5. So yeah, they are moved to the new addresses. So we have those contracts added. So we can check that.
Should you already deploy them to mainnets and Shadow, so we don't forget about them?
No. For DevNet 6, those are not applied to Shadow.
Right. But I mean, the consolidation contract will be the same, right?
Yes, the same.
Should
And
we already
the
deploy
code
them?
didn't change, so it's just the address that it was changing.
Right. But what I'm saying is, should we already deploy this to mainnet and Shadow so that we are sure to be ready for Pectra whenever it happens? Like or is this will this be part of like the chain spec or something? Well, this is just transaction, like type 0 transaction we can just run, right?
Yeah, those transactions are. I mean, those are not going to change. But I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to change. But as far as now, yeah, we have the same transaction, so it's just something to replay.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, and with DevNet 6, then everything is working as planned for now.
Yeah, we'll continue testing there, but yeah, we have it deployed. That's the important thing.
Okay, so let's try also to replay the biggie transaction from DevNet 5 on DevNet 6 then, or maybe debug it first to make sure that there's a fix ready or whatever. Yeah. Is there anything else to discuss for the DevNet or Pectra or anything else?
I just wanted to ask. I found when setting up the latest DevNet that there was a mismatch on the. I mean, basically the error is that Nimbus client included in the preset, the Gnosis preset, he has some configurations for the Electra max blobs per block. Electra, it's set to 9, which is a difference. So I just wanted to confirm that this is the correct value to put there, or it should be 2.
Yeah, it should be max 2, target 1 for Pectra, for Gnosis Chain.
Yeah, so it's still an unstable version, so it's not released yet, but that should probably need to be changed on the preset. This happens for Nimbus, but I think other clients also has 9 on the preset.
Okay. Lion, can you go through these to all the CLs and make sure that they have the right config for Gnosis?
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else?
Yeah, quick thing. I think Dimitra, you were working on some Pectra testing as well. You didn't mention that finally.
Yeah. I think we are on the final stage of the testing. So I even managed to make consolidation today. So yeah. I believe we will finish it this week.
Do we have any issues from consolidation? Because today you were confused with one thing, so I'm not sure if that was resolved.
At the moment, I don't understand if this is an issue or not, so continue testing.
Okay.
All right. Well, if that's it, then yeah, thanks for joining, and see you next week then.
Yep. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey guys.
Everyone, have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.